REDress project was originally created by Métis artist Jamie Black in 2010 to commemorate missing and murdered Indigenous women. On Saturday, local artist Amber Ruthhart unveiled the public art installation, The Promenade of Pain, in Spencer Smith Park.
I am a descent of Cree First Nations of White Bear Clan Treaty Number 4, and I have been legally recognized as a 60s scoop survivor. I too have daughters. My eldest is here today, and I have a youngest one named Raven. And boy, she looks Native. I want safety for my daughters. I want a future that allows them to not deal with systemic racism.
Valerie King of the Mississaugas of the Credit has been working to bring these atrocities to light for years.
I started a Facebook page called Never to be Forgotten in 2006, and I post women that go missing or murdered. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's two, sometimes it's three, sometimes it's 5, a day or a week even. But you'll never see it in the media. You'll never see it on TV, and you'll never see it in the newspaper. But for darn sure, if another nation or race of people that happens to, it's going to be in the newspaper, but our women don't.
In 2006, King started helping to collect the stories of missing and murdered Indigenous women. In 2010, the RCMP took over and reported in 2015 that 1,200 women had gone missing.
And society was shocked, but Indigenous people weren't. But some more people came on board, some more people stepped up to the plate and start doing things like this. And then the Walks for Justice started, where we start going for walks starting from Nova Scotia all the way across to BC, listening to more stories. Almost like taking the mask off your face that many of you are wearing today and having a voice. As the walk was continuing across Canada, the families came, the first time ever. There's over 4,000 missing and murdered Aboriginal women.
King outlined the stories from residential schools that ran from 1883 to 1996, taking 150,000 children away from their families and their culture, including the medical testing that she herself underwent at day school.
And of those 150,000, 30,000 of them never came home. So you think about that. It didn't start just 5, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, the missing and murdered. 30,000 never came home. Racism is not dead. Systemic racism in our health, justice, education system as the nation grieves the recent appalling tragic death of another tragic story of a woman named Joy Ashikan. She was 37, a mother of 7 from Adamakat Nation. In her final moments, she went Facebook Live this last week, recording her treatment. She spent listening to racial slurs. I'm not going to repeat them. And she died pleading for help.
A report by Amnesty International stated in 2012 that the homicide rate for Indigenous women is roughly 4.5 times higher than that of all other women in Canada. Since then, it has gone up and is now 7 times greater.
When I do the vigils, it's not just for show. It's for all my women that are behind me and all the women coming. Because when I post those women on the Facebook, it looks like my niece. It looks like my sister. It looks like my daughter. And it could be. I always tell my daughters never travel alone, because you can't.
When people of Burlington come down this path, I'm really hoping that they're going to start asking questions. Why are the red dresses here? How come there's so many? What does this mean? What is this? Why? And when they read the placards, they'll understand that this is for murdered and missing Indigenous women. It may not be so prevalent here in Halton, in Hamilton, in Burlington, in all these areas, but it is across Canada. Like, not in this area, but it's such a hidden challenge that we have in Canada. And, you know, we start opening eyes and getting people to recognize that, yes, this is part of our history. This is part of what is happening now. And just to get that message out and get those voices heard is really important.
I just have to say it's haunting, isn't it? You see these empty dresses hanging, and I'm told there are close to 60. That's a fraction of what we know in terms of women who have gone missing. Imagine if it was all of the women that have gone missing and girls that have gone missing or been murdered because they were Indigenous, because they were women.
Reporting for Halton News, I'm Nikki Wesley.